Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. In today's magazine, we delve into the discussions surrounding the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NAITS. We'll also be highlighting travel hotspots in St. Elizabeth for the holidays, and later we'll find out a little bit more about the ISO 22000-2018 Food Safety Management System in our Hear This segment. We have a packed half hour lined up for you, and I know you don't want to miss a minute. So stay tuned as the magazine unfolds.
Bacteria we can't stop fight. Antibiotics, take them right. Antibiotics. Come let me tell you how to take them right. Only take them from professionals with medical credentials. Do not share them with friends or relations. Use prescriptions, follow instructions. Take them till them done with no interruptions. Bad bacteria we can't stop fight. Antibiotics, take them right.
Brought to you by the UWI Mona, Ministry of Health, National Health Fund, PAHO WHO.
The Veterinary Services Division is appealing to all cattle owners to take advantage of the free registration process, which is being offered at this time under the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NAITS. You have until the end of the year. Find out more about NAITS and how it can benefit you and your cattle next on Get the Facts.
Welcome to Get the Facts, the program that provides you with information on government's policies and initiatives. I'm your host, Enthros Campbell. Today we'll be talking about the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NAITS. Our resource person is Senior Veterinary Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Dr. Icolin Ricketts-Gale. Dr. Ricketts-Gale, we're so happy to have you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm pleased to be here.
Okay, so what is the National Animal Identification and Traceability System? What is it?
All right, it's all about identifying animals so that you can trace them from birth to slaughter and even until when they become meat on your plate, so to speak.
Right.
It entails, for Jamaica, it entails the use of a visual ear tag in the animal's ears as well as a movement document that accompanies the animal.
Yes.
And we also have a database that we use along with the system.
Well, we had a program like this before. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is some of the things I just mentioned to you.
Yes.
We now have a database that
Yes.
stores information on the owners of the animals as well as the animals themselves. And this also gives you a unique document that goes along with the animal. As I mentioned before, we use visual ear tags in the ear of the animal.
Right.
The exact number that is on the ear tag of the animal is displayed on the cattle passport.
Right. Before now, we had a passport system, they called it. And so that was just the tag on the animal ear that you would use. There was nothing, no database, nothing else, just the tag. And you would use that to identify your animal.
Well, actually, this is the first system that employs a passport, you know.
Okay.
All other identification systems before were just
Okay.
simply an identification device,
Okay.
and the owners will have their own
Alright.
in-house record.
When was this started?
In 2015, legislation was enacted coming off the Parent Act that governs the Veterinary Services Division, the Animals, Diseases and Importation Act of Jamaica. We had regulations on the marking of bovine animals coming out of that.
Right. So you're doing the program now to get some farmers registered until when? When is the cutoff point? Because there's a free, right now you can do that for free without having to pay, yes?
Yes,
so
you
until
can.
When? Until when?
All right. As you would be aware, the minister made an announcement earlier in June, giving all owners of cattle up to January 2021 to have this done.
Yes.
So it's a government incentive to offer it free of cost. So it will not be a deterrent for persons to say that they do not have the funds to participate in the program.
So after January 2021, those persons who are not registered will have to pay, right?
Yes.
And how much is that? Would that be?
You know, it's very economical. It's only $300 per head of cattle. And as you know, when you have an animal being born now, that animal will not produce another offspring, say, for instance, another year and a half, 2 years. So it's not an exorbitant cost over a long period of time.
Okay, so what is the registration period? What does it entail?
All right, registration of animals or the system on in its entirety. You get information on the cattle owners, where the system started an interview, I should say, on the property. You have the staff that would interview the farmer, tell him what the program is about, get background information on the farmer, and then you'd move on now to, if it is the case that it's a farmer and animals are on the establishment, then we will move into identification of the animal. But I must point out to you that we not only register farms where animals are kept, but also where they're handled. For instance, like the slaughterhouse and even showgrounds.
Right. So you're going to the farmer's farm to do this processing.
Yes, we do.
But what do they have to do now for you to come to them?
What they have to do now, what we're asking is for them to contact us.
Okay.
Just make that first contact, tell us that they have animals and they'd like us to come. So we just get their address and make arrangement to go there and have the process started.
But why is the process so short though? Why is it up to January? Why are you not going over January?
It's not that we're not going beyond January, no. Right. We're just using this window to get everybody on board so that we can complete what we call our first identification exercise. That's when we identify all the adult population or the existing population in Jamaica, and then henceforth we can focus on the newborns.
Right. So what happens after January?
What happens after January? We will continue the identification as usual, because you always have animals being born.
Yes.
But what happens after January that we want everyone to be aware of is that now we'll be imposing the law. All right, before there are no consequences to not participate in the system. You heard me mention before that it's regulation coming out of a Parent Act. So it is a mandatory system. So this is the only grace period now where farmers have a chance not to participate. After that, they will be committing an offense, and we will have to follow that up accordingly.
Let's take a quick break now. We pick up with some more information on the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NATE. Stay with us.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. How to wash your hands. Firstly, wet your hands. Then apply some soap. Rub your hands palm to palm. Lather the backs of your hands. Scrub between your fingers. Rub the backs of fingers on the opposing palms. Then clean your thumbs. Make sure to wash your fingernails and fingertips. Rinse your hands. Then dry with a single-use towel. Use this towel to turn off the faucet. And now your hands are clean. When to wash your hands? After coughing or sneezing, after taking public transportation, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare and eat food, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, after handling animals or animal waste. An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back to Get the Facts. We're talking with Senior Veterinary Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Dr. Ikelin Ricketts-Gale. So we're talking about penalties before the break. Tell us, what are some of the penalties if we're not registered by the end of January 2021?
All right, under the regulations, farmers are mandated by law to notify the registrar whether or not they have animals on their compound, meaning cattle, so that we can come and identify the animal. If this is not done, then they would have committed an offense.
Okay.
All right, and this is a fine that is accompanied, or it can be also a sentence imposed by a magistrate, depending on her discretion.
Okay. Good. So this is to help the whole pray the last, and this will definitely help, right? That is one of your objectives.
Yes, it will, because when this is not imposed, you have the regulations chipping in that says that any operator of a slaughter establishment, they must accept only animals that are registered under the NATE. It is an offense to accept animals that are not registered under the NATE. Okay. So there you cut out the illegal market,
yes.
Just in case there is larceny of livestock.
Right.
You have perpetrators won't find an easy market to dispose of the animal and get it onto the food market.
Right. So before slaughtering the animals, the passport must be checked. Walk us through that process.
All right. When an animal enters the slaughterhouse, it goes through its normal process, but the check-in point happens at 2 stages. The operator of the abattoir needs to check that the animals that are offloaded onto his establishment has their fixed ear tag and has the accompanying passport. When that animal is slaughtered, then checks are also done to make sure, by the inspectorate, to make sure that these are carcasses of animal with ear tags in the ears and have the movement document as well.
Okay. Now, what are you expecting out of this program? We had talked about Frida last before. What are you expecting? What else?
Well, NATES is really a food safety initiative, and it's also an initiative that will enable the Veterinary Services Division to enhance its response time in terms of a disease outbreak containment. For this program holistically, it will also help with breeding and larceny in terms of the closing of the illegal market. So it is hoped that this program will give farmers a chance to increase their animal production, as well as to get access to better markets, both local and overseas, and also to safeguard public health. We have to remember that food safety is a very important issue, and persons should be aware of the meat that they purchase comes from, because we have to think about our own health.
What about there are people who would take the animals to not one of the registered slaughterhouses? What kind of control would you get from that? Somebody takes that animal to you and...
Well, under the law that governs butchers, all butchers should be registered with the Ministry of Health. So technically, all butchers are registered, even if their slaughter facility is not. All right, and it is illegal for them to operate outside of a slaughter facility. So each butcher is linked with a slaughter facility. So it shouldn't be a case whereby they do slaughtering outside of that facility. If that is done, then it is illegal.
Okay, but I just know that persons are going to be... What should the ordinary man look out for? Because people will take their animal to a man down the street, and he doesn't know that the animal is really not his. What should this person look out for?
All right. As I mentioned before, the movement document, it has on the name of the owner of the animal. So let's say I was a buyer of an animal. Then I would match that name that is on the cattle passport with some form of identification that the person can provide.
Right.
That way I can link a name to the person who is actually selling.
So it is important that you check all of these things before you buy any animal, before you think about slaughtering an animal, right?
Most definitely.
Definitely.
Yes.
So we want to tell people who are buying animals to be careful for the whole safety, the reason of safety, to ensure that we're not stealing, we're not slaughtering a stolen animal. Yes? So tell us, how many establishments or animals have you registered so far on the NATES?
So far we've registered approximately 1,300 establishments and identified approximately 38,700 heads of cattle.
Okay, and you're pleased with that so far? I think you've done most of them.
Well, we've met the halfway mark, yes, and we're glad for this initiative by the minister, because it has really caused persons to call out so that we can come and identify the animals.
Yes.
So we're happy along that path, and we're hoping that even after January 2021, even if your animal have not met that deadline, you would have contacted us. Yes. So we have you on a waiting list.
Okay, we're going to wrap now, but before we go, just talk to our cattle owners and just tell them exactly why it is important to get registered under NATES.
Farmers, the Veterinary Services of the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries is reaching out to you. This is a program that will help you to enhance your animal production. It will also help to secure access to markets for your products, and it should also safeguard the health of you as a Jamaican, myself as a Jamaican. All right, so I'm imploring all to come on board, register with the NACE. This is a platform that we're trying to set to put our agriculture sector in line with international standards. All right?
Yes. And this is to be done before January 2021.
Yes.
Or else?
Or else we don't want to say we'll come down with the big stick of the law, but the law will have to be held.
Okay. Thank you so very much for coming today to share about NATES. Thank you so very much, Doc.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
This has been Get the Facts. Our guest was Senior Veterinary Officer in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Dr. Icolin Ricketts-Gale. For more information on the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NATES, contact the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries at 876-927-1731. Until next time, when Get the Facts brings you, as always, more useful information. I am Enthros Campbell. Thanks for watching and take good care.
So it's almost time for the holidays, and you may be wondering what to do since parties and big family gatherings now have a capacity limit. Listen. Grab your crew, stick to the group limit, get your masks and your sanitizers and explore Jamaica. Check out St. Elizabeth.
Our island is home to about 10 lighthouses, and this is one of them. The Lover's Leap Lighthouse, which stands 1,600 feet above sea level, is located in what once was the largest parish in Jamaica. Today, we are going on an exciting excursion to explore the Breadbasket Parish, starting right here at Lover's Leap. Welcome to St. Elizabeth.
In the 18th century, Lover's Leap, there was a plantation, and there were slaves working on that plantation. And you had, how it got its name was that there were two lovers, Tunky and Mizzy, who fell in love. And the slave master really wanted Mizzy for himself. And those two lovers they found out that they wanted to separate them both. And they decided that before they got separated, they ran away. And they found themselves at this cliff, which is 1,700 feet above sea level. And they just decided to jump. They rather die than be separated. So January 2018, Jakes took over the management of Lover's Leap. And today we have a full restaurant and bar. Every day we do offer a tour of the grounds, giving the story of the two lovers. We're also looking into having a guided tour down to the bottom of the cliff and back up, which can take you maybe about 3.5 hours for the entire tour.
Crocodiles are one of Jamaica's endangered species and one of the oldest animals in the world. Here at the Black River Safari, you can not only learn more about the crocodiles, but it is said that you can get a little up close and personal with these amazing animals.
Presently, we're on the Black River, and this is Jamaica's longest navigable river. It is 44 miles long, about 70 kilometers.
Oh, see over there, sir.
As you can see, it's smiling, showing off those 68 teeth, 38 at the top and 30 at the bottom, which is very sharp enough to rip through both flesh and bones. So throughout the crocodile's lifetime, they will relocate themselves for a source of food, for mating, or if they're just being bullied by a more bigger and a more aggressive crocodile. This is Christian. This is one of the male crocodile that we have released from our nursery. Don't run. Yeah. In total, so far from that facility, we have released actually 118 crocodiles now.
So we are getting a little bit of rain out here in the safari, but it's still an amazing experience.
On land, the crocodile can do a top speed of up to 50 kilometers an hour, but only for a short distance. They get tired easily. In the water, they swim pretty fast as well, so you would not be able to outrun or to outswim one, which you don't have to do. You only need to move faster than the person next to you. Well, that's the easier way.
I legit feel like a daredevil after this experience. However, if this isn't for you, I am sure our next stop has something for the entire family.
It's relaxing, and you can just sit and what you like. You like lions, you like birds, you like monkeys, what you like. We attract visitors from all over the world. When I say all over the world, name it. And it is very interactive, as you saw today, where the kids having a lot of fun. And I chose St. Elizabeth because of the location. It's actually in the center of Jamaica, where it's easy for the persons from Montego Bay to access, persons from Kingston, and even from like Ocho. Outside of that, the habitats, as you can see, a lot of trees. It's like country. It's like, you know, it's right for the animals.
We've been on the road all day, learning, touring, and exploring, simply having a blast. And I bet you're wondering where to next. Just be patient. Let me enjoy my coconut from Miss Sharon right here in Holland Bamboo. We'll soon reach. St. Elizabeth has many secrets, and this is one of them. The Breadnut Valley Estate, which spans over 76 acres, is home to 7 natural falls, created by this river, which flows from the Cockpit country through to the Black River. The estate is located right between Newton and Magotty here in St. Elizabeth. As the sun sets on an immaculate day, I'm here surrounded by a pristine coastline. Our journey today ends here at Floyd's Pelican Bar, which is situated about a mile or so off the south coast. Good vibes, good people, and an awesome structure.
I'm from St. Elizabeth and I think it's the best. So on the Pelican Bar located in it, which is a very nice attraction since year 2001. And I think it's a one-of-a-lifetime experience and a visit to come over and see what it's like. And we're located in southwest St. Elizabeth in a fishing village called Paraty.
There's somewhere here in St. Elizabeth for everyone, so just take a turn off round the bend and have some fun.
My job is to ensure that every man, woman and child maintain good health at all times.
Our primary function is to ensure that government services are delivered effectively and efficiently.
We are building forward
together.
The National Certification Body of Jamaica, NCBJ, has unveiled its newest certification product, the ISO 22000-2018 Food Safety Management System, FSMS. The standard outlines the requirements that stakeholders along the food chain can incorporate in their operations to help ensure they have an effective system that provides safe foods for consumers. The ISO 22000-2018 Food Safety Management System comes at a time when companies continue to adjust to global changes relating to local food consumption and export, as well as uncertainties associated with the coronavirus pandemic. It will establish consistency in providing food-related products and services that are safe and meet regulatory requirements. The standard will also improve consumer supply regulator confidence and relationships, among other outturns, as we work to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. Stakeholders and other interested persons can get additional information on the ISO 22000-2018 Food Safety Management System at www.ncbj.org.jm or by emailing info@ncbj.org.jm.
Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call alright. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
This is where the magazine ends, but only for today. But if you would like to see more content like this, then visit our YouTube page. We also have all the latest news and updates on our social media pages and our website, jis.gov.jm. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.